Good evening. It's a quick turnaround for your Sacramento Kings. They are back at home after the 4-game homestand, coming off a loss to the Utah Jazz. And guess who's in town? Yeah, that's right. The Boston Celtics at 49-23. We'll get you all ready for the start of the game. This is the pregame show on If You Don't Like That.
Audio Jungle.
All right, like I said, it is a quick turnaround. I'm Ryan in Sacktown. I know it says Grant Napier down there. My bad, boss. I guess I wanted to be you for the night. So we will look past that. But how's everybody doing? Felix already checking in. Thanks so much for being here, buddy. Yes, but this is the Kings. Kings for sure. Yeah, Felix, shout out Scott Pollard as well. Will, thank you as always. Hit the like button. Please subscribe as well to Grant's channel. Get notified. Turn on notifications anytime we go live. Carl, what you doing tonight, man? Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Cool. We got a question about the t-shirts. Yeah, they're shipping out. So we will get those out pretty soon, Frank. You've been on top of it, man. T-shirts have gone out. So we can update that all along. T-shirts are going out. Yes. So anyways, let's get to the game. So we're already getting some Kings loose today. Why don't we recap what happened last night really quick with the Jazz? The Kings, very slow start. What's going on? Thank you so much for being here, G. Slow start, right? And with the Kings, slow starts have been a problem. When you play a team like Utah, you can recover from a slow start, as they did. They came back, got it together in the second half. Ultimately, it was not enough. Utah threw some looks at them that the Kings weren't. The Kings were familiar with, but they just didn't execute very well overall in that first half, especially with the zone defense. Walker Kessler for Utah was excellent. We can't take anything away from him. He gave Sabonis some fits. Yes, sir, Eli. Let's go. Got a couple of those going. Love it, guys. So anyways, Kings, they expended a lot of energy last night. They tried to come back, and even though the numbers weren't terrible at the end of the night with the box score, it just wasn't enough for them. So Grant did a rant on this today, just about the quick turnaround and the scheduling for this game. Sacramento's had 5 and 7 nights, like Grant mentioned. On top of that, they have played in 4 different time zones. So there could be a little bit of attrition there. The Kings could be a little tired tonight. And coming off road trips, the Kings traditionally have not been good this year with that first game back at home. But if the Kings come out tonight with some energy in the first quarter and they can hang a little bit, then I think that, it could be an interesting game, but it will be a very impressive game if the Kings end up winning, considering the stretch that they have been on. Oh, thanks. I wish I was wrong. I really wish I was, Kent. But you know what? You're not going to win them all. You are not going to win every game in this association. And, it wasn't a bad loss. It wasn't a bad loss at all. They fought back. But the slow start was just a little too much for them to overcome. So let's talk a little bit about Boston. Boston struggling as of late, even though their record would not say so. You can't take this team for granted. I mean, you've got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, just to start off right there. Boston is just a solid team, very good defensively, and very sound, just physical And they're going to be a team that will bring it to Sacramento. So we'll see what happens. On the injury front for the Kings, Kevin Huerter is questionable. He's the only person listed on the report for the Kings. So everybody else is a full go. Let's see, Kyle, do you think more teams will start to use the zone against the Kings? You know what? That's a good question. I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today about that, and possibly, you would think the zone or the zone defense would not be a good play for some or to play against the Kings because of one, the way they shoot the ball. Um, but when you take a step back and you take away the shooting, the Kings, we don't have a lot of guys besides De'Aaron Fox and HB to a degree that are good dribble penetrators, right? So that takes that kind of is not a threat when they're playing man to man. Let's put it that way. But when you kick to zone, what happens is, there's a lot more ball movement and there's not as much player movement. So I worry about that because the Kings offense is centered around movement. So many of these 3-pointers come from guys coming off screens, Sabonis doing a little dish pass. And with the zone, it kind of changes things. And not to mention that will allow the zone to also collapse on Sabonis at times. And Sabonis is a very good decision maker, but he's not a quick decision maker. And when you're in that role trying to break a zone defense down, you have to be able to make quick decisions, especially if you're the distributor like Sabonis would likely be in that situation coming up to the free throw line, because that's how you break a zone usually. So it will be an interesting wrinkle to see what teams do. I mean, the Kings can shoot themselves or shoot the other team out of the zone. There's no doubt about that. But it could get the Kings a little trigger happy and have them start taking shots that maybe, you could get anytime in the shot clock. So I would expect the Kings to play better against the zone offense or zone defense. But we'll see. I don't think we'll see a ton of it, but it was effective last night. There is no doubt about that. Man, you guys got so many comments going. Thank you. I'm going to try to get to so many of these. Got a report that Rich says, and Rich is a very, very reliable source. Rich says that Huerter is out, which is not surprising. Coach Brown said that if it was a playoff game, Huerter would be ready to go or could go. Kind of the same way they treated Fox when he was out for a couple games with that hand injury. So Huerter will be getting the rest, and my guess is that you're probably going to see Kessler Edwards back into the starting lineup. Guerrero, tonight has to be a total team effort versus Celtics. If the Kings want to be serious contenders, they got to win those games. Yeah, they do. I don't want to say serious contenders they have to win, but they need to have a performance similar to what they played or how they played against Milwaukee. If they do that and they show that they can go toe-to-toe with a team like this, then sure, I think that shows us enough in its own, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a win. But if they do win this game tonight and play that type of game because of them coming off that 4-game road trip, then that's going to be a big, big, impressive win, but it will definitely take everyone. You're right about that, Mike. What's up, Lids? How you doing? Thanks for joining the show tonight. Again, please like the show. Please subscribe to Grant's channel. We so appreciate all of the support. We appreciate you being back. Grant will be here for halftime and the post-game show, and we will cover everything for you from tip-off to the end. Lids with a comment here. Kings have to play physical and some form of defense. Well, Lydia, they really haven't played much of a form of defense this year, but yes, they do need to play some defense. Physicality, definitely with Boston. This is a championship team. Yes, they are. Boston is a championship team. There's no doubt about that. They have proven that. They are near the top of the Eastern Conference, despite the slide that they have been on, and are very dangerous. They're lengthy, too. That's something that we haven't talked about yet. Jason Tatum, very lengthy player. They've got some bigs that are pretty lengthy. So The Kings are going to have to come out and be ready to go. What do you guys, and I want to ask this now, what do you think, and besides the obvious defense, offense, what do you think a key to this game is going to be? I have a couple of keys in my mind, but I want to get yours first. Let's see. We've got Kent chiming in. Think the Kings lose tonight, but they have surprised me in the second half of the season. Yeah. Boston is pretty much at full strength. So this isn't a game where, a star is sitting out for the other team like last night with Lauri Markkanen. But yeah, they could surprise us. They certainly could. But if they get out to a 20-point deficit in the first quarter, then that 20 points against Utah would be like 40 points against Boston. The level, or the frequency for air with this Boston team is much, much thinner. So they've really got to just be, they just got to keep it close, right? Because we all know the Kings are going to make some runs at some point. But if they don't, and it gets out of hand a little quick, I question whether or not this one's going to really be close at all, just because of what the Kings are coming off of. All right, we're starting to get some keys in. Having a good first, yep, absolutely, good first quarter, key to the win. Turnovers, yeah. You know what? The funny thing, last night, they only turned the ball over 6 times. I mean, I was kind of talking to Grant about this. When you looked at the box score, it wasn't bad. Free throws could have been better. Assists were up there. They weren't at the number where the Kings usually win, but they almost equaled the rebounds with Utah. I think they were only like 4 or 5 rebounds short of what Utah had. So, and that was a team effort. That was Keegan played great last night. Keegan, who's on his way to hopefully breaking the rookie record, NBA rookie record for 3-pointers, which was set by Donovan Mitchell. He is 16 behind Donovan Mitchell. That is hard to believe. All right, let's see. Yep, that's right, Jeff. They kept it close. And this is a different Kings team now than that team. When they first played earlier in the season. Frank, what is the pillar? That is my homage to the beam. So it's a little home setup that I did. And then the basketball is a basketball from my college days, signed by all of my teammates at SDSU. My senior year. Okay. Great comments. Yes, Josh, I got your tweet. I will respond to that, buddy. Eli, like to see if, let's see, Eli. Yeah, we'll see if they can slow down those guys. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. But I think that's where multiple guys comes in. And I'm not talking about doubling. It's going to be Kessler Edwards. Throw him at JT a little bit. Harrison Barnes. Keegan Murray, just keep them on their heels the entire game. So JT can't get a feeling for one player specifically. That would be huge for me. So here's my key to the game tonight. I'm going to give you 2 keys. And one is a little bit, it's a little bit homerish, but that's why I'm going to make it the second. My first key is assists. When the Kings have over 30 assists, they win ball games. So that means everybody's getting involved. And usually when they have over 30 assists, you have 6 or more players in double digits, usually 7 in double digits. So I want to see over 30 assists. The second is the bench. The bench in the second half was decent last night, but it was still pretty much only Monk. The first half was pathetic. They only had 7 points in the first half from the bench. So the bench needs to have at least 2 guys in double digits at halftime. That's where I'm going. We need to have that type of start to this one. Let's see. We got some stuff about foul trouble. Foul trouble. That is every game. Yeah. Well, they're on 2 days rest, and then they have another couple days rest before their next game. So we'll see. They have had plenty of time here in Sacramento to go check out Bennett's. Bennett's located in Roseville, Sacramento, and then a new location soon to come in Rockland in the Blue Oaks Town Center. Go check out Bennett's for you want a good steak, you want a nice piece of seafood, a great place to have happy hour, or just even with a group. They have an awesome private room at the Sacramento location. Bennett's is your place. I love the hanger steak and Fritz. I love the prime rib that they serve on Sundays, and then we also really, really enjoy the redfish with spinach. They also have weekend brunch. Check that out. I know some of you have been to the weekend brunch. I think it's called Brunch and Bubbles. So go check out Bennett's. Brian, the owner, huge supporter of the show and huge Kings fan as well, and great guy all around. So again, Bennett's in Roseville, Sacramento, and a third location soon to come in Rockland. All right. Let's get back to your messages because you guys are always pretty much spot on. The Kings need to just play the best Kings basketball tonight. Need to play close to 48 minutes, keep turnovers down, and make your free throws. Yeah, they've got to make a little. The free throw percentage needs to come up. The free throw percentage has been hovering in their recent losses anywhere between 70 to 76%. And I know 76% isn't terrible, but you gotta, I would like to see it in the 80s at a very minimum, especially as you get closer to the playoffs and into the playoffs. All right, we got a question from Paul. When you have, let's see, when you have movement, normally you have assists, and absolutely spot on about the bench, Ryan. Yeah, and that's what this offense is about. I mean, think about if you just play basketball on your free time, do you like going to play with one guy that's doing everything and not the other four guys not touching the ball? I mean, it makes for a little bit of a weird game. Everybody's not into it. And when these guys start moving that ball around, it's magic. And it is incredibly fun to watch, and it leads to wins. So good observation. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ava. Everybody, I've gotten a lot of comments about the purple. It's just because we're Kings fans, right? So scrappy play, Gabriel. Yeah. Okay, that cuts two ways. So we were all hyped up, right, about Trey Lyles and standing up for his teammates and the whole thing with Brooke Lopez. But then last night, Trey Lyles comes back, and I know he's been banged up with the shoulder injury, and he gets posterized twice. It's okay to get posterized if you're trying to make a play on the ball, but he just stood there. He just watched. He was a pedestrian. Send the guy to the free throw line. Take a charge. We know charges are a huge part of what the Kings do on defense. If you are not physically able to do either of those things, or you are not willing to do either of those things, then you probably shouldn't be on the floor. So that speaks to consistency. I get the game was a little bit out of hand in the first half when the first time the situation happened with Lyles occurred, but I could not stand that because both of those were his rotation and he was late. So scrappiness, yes, scrappiness that's got to be in there for every game the Kings play, every single game. It's got to be there. And that was a huge ingredient to the Kings' success back in, the early 2000s when they had their run. So 100% agree with you. Let's see. Greg, Ryan, how do you think the Kings can go in the postseason this year, how far, if healthy? We'll see. I think that, and I don't want to label them. I think they could probably, depending on how things break, probably go second round tops would be my guess. That's what I'd be comfortable saying now. But that being said, it has been a very, very wacky Western Conference this year. So we don't know what could happen with injuries and such. So it will be told as time goes along. All right. Monk got robbed of 2 charges last night. Yeah, he did. He did. One, I thought he was moving a little bit. The other, I did think was a charge. And, that's a 50-50 call every single time. So, you know what? If the guys are trying to take charges, I'm happy. I am happy because we know this team is not going to block shots consistently, but they can take charges. A charge is a hustle play. That's a scrappy play. We were talking about scrappiness a little bit ago. So that is just straight effort. And then that's also up here because that means you are getting to your spot in advance of the player you are guarding. You are a step ahead of them. So I get fired up for charges. 100%. Oh, Kyle. All right, you might get some hate here. Go Celtics. My dad is from Boston, but I'm from Sac. I'm not a bandwagon Celtics fan. Yeah, you know what? The Celtics have a ton of fans. They travel well, so expect there to be a decent amount of Celtic fans in the building tonight. Lids thinks it's going to be a playoff atmosphere tonight. Light the beam, indeed. Yeah, it should be. I mean, it depends on what the guys do. I mean, the crowd goes as the players go. And I mean, it's going to be loud regardless, but when the Kings come out and they go on their runs, and especially when they come out strong and the crowd's engaged from the opening tip, it's magic. It can be magic. And some of the loudest, more fun games are when the other team has a decent amount of fans in the arena, because it goes back and forth. So there'll be a decent amount of Celts there. No doubt. No doubt. Okay, Stan's giving it to him. Stan, wrong chat, buddy. Or Kyle, wrong chat. All good, Kyle. You can root for whoever you want. Appreciate the honesty. Hey there. How you doing? Ta? Hope you're doing well tonight. Again, don't forget, be back at halftime and be back for the post-game show. Grant will be here. And also, go check out Grant's rant from today. Thought it was really, really good stuff about scheduling. You can find that on Apple Podcasts, his website, etc. Thank you. We like you guys too. Thank you so much. So anyways, all right, let's get a couple of predictions in here. Let me know what you guys think. We don't even have to, well, you can go scores if you want. So I'm going to withhold my score until halftime with the boss, but let me know what you guys think. I mean, or just if you think it's going to be close, or if you think that because of the Kings coming off of a back-to-back, or on the second night of a back-to-back, it is not going to be close. Tay has the Kings 112-110. No, they really don't. No. What's so tough about the schedule the rest of the way? I can name 4 games off the top of my head. If you're thinking Phoenix, you've got Phoenix and Boston still tonight, but then you've got Portland twice. You have San Antonio. You have the Warriors. You have Denver, which is the last game of the season, which Denver will probably have guys resting at this point because they now are 4.5 games ahead of everybody else for that one spot. Let's see. Yeah, so no, I don't think it is. I disagree with that. There's other teams vying for playoff spots that have much harder schedules. The Kings, in my opinion, are through the most difficult part of the schedule in the second half after tonight's game. Oh yeah, and throw in another Jazz game too as well. Greg's got the Kings 120, 115 Boston. All right. CD, what do you got? Check this out. My brother's from Sacramento is a Yankees, Carolina Panthers, and Celtics fan. What the crap? That's all right, man. You know what? Root for your teams, whoever they are. Just stay rooting for your teams. Don't be a bandwagon fan. And I'm not trying to rattle any cages here, but Niners fan, you guys are the worst when it comes to bandwagons. The absolute worst. I have not seen a Niners car flag since they lost in the playoffs. So salute your team, guys. At least Raiders fans, when the Raiders were here, they actually were, wearing their gear 24/7, and they were not winning. So root for your teams hard. Don't switch around. Matt, all right, he's got Boston 133, 129. Yeah. Oh, tonight? No. No. Keegan's not going to get 16 threes tonight. If Keegan gets 16 threes tonight, that would probably be a franchise record. So let's see. All right, that's going to kind of do it for the scores. You guys got any more last minute scores? No, true. You don't sign a contract when you become a fan. If you want to switch over to a new team, no worries. Just don't act like you're a fanatic of that team. You know what I mean? Like you got to pay your dues a little bit. But yeah, you can switch. You can switch. Paul says Raider Nation. Sorry, guys. I got to stir the pot a little bit. Jeff Herter is out tonight. Herter is out. So he is not going to be playing. But if it was a playoff game, Mike Brown said he likely would be playing. All right. John, dude, I did something special for you for the pregame show. So what are you cooking tonight? And then you can ask me the same question and you'll see what it is. Let's see, 116. Oh, Jersey Mike subs. Pool night. Okay. I see you. I missed that second part. No barbecue. Well, John, I did this just for you, buddy. Yeah, we did that's the teriyaki smoked. So I got to go with the Traeger. Teriyaki smoked pork loin. So I had to take a picture and put it on the show just for you, buddy. So now the next picture is on you. Send it in. So anyways, all right, we're getting closer and closer to a tip off. Couple more scores. Boston 132. Kings 121. Paul, he's hoping for 127, 124 Kings. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. Thank you, Eli. Yeah, wasn't bad. It was really good. I might have a little bit more in between now and the next show. So we got a prediction that Keegan is going to be big tonight. All right, we'll see. Well, Gabriel, he's not going to be big like 16 threes, but yeah, he could be big. If he plays the way that he played last night, he got a lot of big rebounds in the fourth quarter last night. If he plays with that same intensity and gets a little bit more involved, then yeah, he could be a huge factor tonight. So I would love to see that. Andrew, he's going low. 96, 91. Okay. All right. And we got Neil. Keegan is feeling it for show. You wouldn't know though, because he's always just even keel. So Nate Dogg. Kings 118, 116. All right. So we are going to get ready to wrap up. Again, we are back at halftime and back for the post-game show. Those are Grant's shows. I'm lucky enough to join him on those. So we will have coverage all night long for you. Hope you guys can join back. I know Grant started a new segment. Can't wait to see who the picture is tonight. If you guys didn't hear or see the picture last night, in fact, I will put it up again. These were some Kings fans in Vietnam vacationing. And one of Grant's friends was walking by the beach and saw them sitting there drinking a beer, and went up to them, and they ended up all having a drink together. And his friend ended up calling Grant, and they all got to talk. But yeah, so Grant's, based off of this, starting a new segment every night. You can send pictures in. He wants current pictures of you, your family, whoever in Kings gear, current pictures, and he will put them up. And because we've had people from all around the world watching the shows, we want to see everybody around the world rocking their Kings stuff. So you can send your pictures to gnapier@gmail.com. And then just to the t-shirts, like we talked about, those are available. T-shirts are shipping out, so they should be coming any day, especially for those that ordered on the first day. So look for those to arrive. And I know Grant's got some other announcements as well. So we're looking forward to hearing those announcements. Yeah, repping the J. Will jerseys. Those were great. And the white ones, too. I wish the Kings would bring back those uniforms. I would totally. Actually, the purple ones, too. The purple ones would be fire. So that would be really, really cool. I'm not sure why you can't stream the game in SAC. Is it an NBA TV game today? It's possible. It's Tuesday. I'm looking at NBC right now, and I am not blocked. There's 2 different NBC stations, at least on DirecTV, and it's still going for me. So let me know if you guys are all having that issue still. Yeah, NBA TV. There you go. So if you are on DirecTV, here we go. Now I'm doing TV guides here. If you're on DirecTV, there are 2 different NBC California stations. So go ahead and make sure you are on the correct one. Come on, Andrew. Did you just pull the fire alarm? Andrew, you got everybody all scared. You thought I was going to have to stay here from the first quarter to halftime and basically do play-by-play? Oh, my gosh. Yes. No, you guys are good. So, all right, we are there. They're getting ready to tip off right now. Grant will be here at halftime. Again, please like the show. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate all of you guys, even you, Andrew, who sounded the fire alarm. All good, buddy. All right, we will see you at halftime. I'm Ryno in Sacktown. Appreciate you being here. So long. Go Kings.